today I'm replaying the entire career of Cristiano Ronaldo from the very beginning. He's been reset all the way back to 16 years old back at Sporting de Portugal. And his overall has been dropped to 67 overall. Man, Ronaldo looks absolutely terrible, but don't you worry. We're going to give Cristiano the perfect career today, finally winning him the World Cup and making him the GOAT. So here's Cristiano Ronaldo back here at Sporting, and oh my days, his teammate is Luis Suarez. Well, the Colombian one at least. But as you guys can see, this team is looking absolutely incredible. That Ronaldo can't even make the bench, man. He is in the reserves. So unfortunately, Ronaldo has to start off his career out on loan. However, it isn't all bad news. Brilliant talent in Giovanni Quenda will be going to Chelsea next season, which means that right mid spot will be up for grabs. But like I mentioned before, one of Ronaldo's goals is to win the World Cup, and we'll see what other challenges he receives after he goes out on loan. And Ronaldo has found his loan club in Belgium, as he is joining Anderlecht for a season-long loan, in hopes when Quenda leaves, he can take that right mid position. And it was the perfect move for Ronaldo, as he's the only right winger and will start every game. And he gets to play alongside Hazard's brother. But of course, Ronaldo's stats are just absolutely terrible. He has 58 strength. FIFA really thinks he's a twig. But of course, this season, we want to go ahead and give him the inside forward role to go ahead and improve his shooting. Because if he can score plenty of goals and maybe win a trophy, he will definitely replace Giovanni Quenda when he goes to Chelsea. So now as we go to the end of season number 1, not only does Ronaldo have to go ahead and win the World Cup to become the GOAT, he has to be the best FIFA player of all time by getting to a 99 overall. He then must try and get to 500 professional career goals, win a total of 40 trophies, and finally win 5 Ballon d'Ors. If he wants to become the greatest of all time, he needs to be perfect. And boys, take a look at Ronaldo's shooting. It's improved a lot now at a 74. But now that does mean he's at a 72 overall, a +5 for Ronaldo, in hopes of getting to a 99 one day. However, Ronaldo could not win his first trophy as they miss out to Union. What team is that, man? And they couldn't even get to the final of the Crocs Cup, man. Come on, Ronaldo. And Ronaldo was in the Conference League, but they couldn't even get past the round of 16. If he can't even win the Tesco version of the Champions League, will he ever win the real one? But hey, at least he had an incredible season, 15 goals and 49 appearances, already adding to his 500 goal tally, but he needs to be doing better, as he even got in the Belgian team of the season. And now the question is, going into season 2, will Ronaldo be starting at Sporting? And to begin season number 2, Giovanni Quenda has gone ahead and joined Chelsea, as Ronaldo has returned to Sporting de Portugal now at a 73 overall. And there is brilliant news, as he's the only right winger on the side, his only competition being Jose Silva. This guy's a nobody, and this time around he'll be playing at right mid rather than right wing, so he might score a little bit less goals, but it doesn't matter. As of right now, we just want him to skyrocket in overall. So of course the question is, what stats should we go ahead and improve to help Ronaldo continue to perform and boost his overall? Well, with his shooting looking like $1,000,000, I think we need to improve his passing and his dribbling. So for that, we're gonna go ahead and give him the wide playmaker role, as we're trying to go ahead and win his first trophy, but also maybe earn his first call-up by the end of next season, because it will be the 2028 Euros. But boys, I was completely wrong. The manager has brought in another right winger in Carlos Forbes from Belgium. This guy scores against Barcelona and apparently now competes with Ronaldo. And Carlos Forbes is the exact same rating as Ronaldo, so that means for the rest of the season, he will be competing in that starting 11. And it's another great season for Ronaldo, now at a 76 overall, adding on to his account. And because Ronaldo has grown so much, his top 2 stats are his sprint speed and acceleration, which means he has gained the rapid and quick step playstyle. And this is very important, because if he ever does get to the World Cup final, we will play that game and we will need these playstyles to help us win it. However, when it comes to goal contributions, he only picked up 5 goals this year in 46 games. I think next season we have to work on his finishing. But once again, Ronaldo just misses out on the league title by 3 points to Porto, and he also failed to reach the final of the Taça de Portugal. Remember, he needs to win 40 trophies in his career. It has not been a great start. But hey, at least he got into the Liga NOS team of the season. But he still has a long way from becoming the greatest of all time. And in season number 3, we of course need to work on his shooting, not only because he needs to get to 500 goals, but if we do get to the World Cup final eventually, he's gonna need a goal scoring playstyle if he wants to go ahead and win his team the World Cup. So of course, once again, we're going for the inside row. And of course, at just 18 years old, at a 76 overall, I could have easily transfer listed him, and I'm pretty sure some big clubs would come in for him. However, with the Euros at the end of the season, he needs to make sure he plays every game and performs, so he'll be staying at Sporting in the meantime. But luckily for Ronaldo, the manager has brought in 2 new signings to help him win his first trophy, and goalkeeper Kakuo Santos from Frankfurt and Mark Huey from Chelsea. And now this team alongside Ronaldo is looking incredible. Surely he should win his first first ever trophy. And this time around, Ronaldo has gotten into the attack at the Portugal final, the chance to win his first trophy. But the question is, can he win his first ever trophy here against FC Porto? And it's a 3-0 win. Ronaldo doesn't score, but he wins his first trophy. But he did not stop there, as he also won the Portuguese title and sadly failed to win the Europa League, but 2 trophies now added to his cabinet. And it's another brilliant season, another +5 for Ronaldo at an 81, already getting close to that 99. And now because he's an 80+ overall, he's gained another playstyle in Power Shot Silver, because his next best stats are his finishing and his long shots. And yes, it's a better season for Ronaldo, 19 goals and 57 appearances. He's still a long way from scoring 500 goals. But of course, it's now time for the Euros, as this is Portugal's group. And sadly, Ronaldo has not been selected to attend the Euros. It seems like he has to go ahead and make a bigger move in Europe, as Portugal got grouped without Ronaldo. And to begin season number 4, it's time for Ronaldo to spread his wings, as we're transfer listing him, so he can go ahead and work towards his goals of winning trophies and Ballon d'Ors. And immediately, Ronaldo gets a Premier League offer, but it's from Tottenham Hotspur. I just said he needs to win trophies, man. I don't think he'll be going there. And a second offer has come in, and it's a big one. It is from PSG. Now here he can win a bunch of trophies, but will he start over the likes of Kvaratskhelia and Ousmane Dembele? But sadly, no more offers came in, and Ronaldo has decided to go to PSG. It is very likely he will sit on the bench, but at least he'll play with some of the best players and win trophies. And yes, I am correct. Ronaldo is actually the second best right winger in the side, and will have to compete with the likes of Desiree Doué if he ever wants to start for PSG. But to be honest here, I think he chose here to win a couple trophies, grow a bit in overall, and eventually go to a team where he might start. So now already at PSG at just 19 years old, 81 overall. And when you take a look at his stats, everything is looking pretty good. But I think we must go back to the wide playmaker role, because his passing is still lacking. If you think Ronaldo's the greatest of all time, make sure to subscribe down below. And I did mention Ronaldo would win trophies, as he wins his third with the league title. And he also wins the Trophy des Champions. He even achieved the domestic treble by winning the Coupe de France. But unfortunately, that's where it ends, and no Champions League final for Ronaldo, which does now mean he has a total of 5 trophies. And in terms of growth, once again, Ronaldo has gone up a +3 to an 84 overall. And surprisingly, Ronaldo actually got a lot of game time, being the club's 3rd top goal scorer with 16 goals and 2 assists. It isn't so bad after all. However, he is still so far away from 500 goals and the rest of his challenges. He needs to start stepping up, especially because the World Cup is at the end of next year. And now in season number 5, Ronaldo is slowly becoming a world-class player, and eventually he's gonna start fighting for all of those Ballon d'Ors he needs. And in terms of development plans, his passing and dribbling have gotten so much better. I think we need to go back to shooting though, especially because he scored so many goals last season. We're going for the inside forward role. If he can have another huge season, I think he'll go ahead and bench Desiree Doué. But Ronaldo has actually gained 2 more playstyles in Trickster and Game Changer, and that's because he's a 5-star skiller now. And oh my days, Ronaldo has gone up all the way up to an 88 overall, getting so close to that 99. And because he's an 85+, he has gained another playstyle in First Touch, because his next best stat is his ball control. Ronaldo was actually the top goal scorer for PSG this season, but didn't get as much game time as last season. But regardless, he adds 24 goals and 5 assists to his account. Not even reaching 100 goals yet. I'm starting to get worried if he ever will reach those 500. But at least he's succeeding somewhere, getting another league title. He gets another Trophy des Champions and completes a 2nd domestic treble in a row here at PSG. But in the Champions League, they're lacking once again, as they got knocked out in the quarterfinals to Barcelona. And now at an 88 overall with 8 trophies, if he's not winning Champions Leagues, he will never win those Ballon d'Ors. We have now arrived to the 2030 World Cup, where Portugal are actually in the group of death. And yes, this time around, Ronaldo's been selected and will be starting off that right wing. However, something very interesting, Gonçalo Ramos didn't turn out as good as he was supposed to be, so maybe Ronaldo should become a striker in the near future. And when it comes to the group stages, Portugal did finish in first place, absolutely perfect. And in the round of 16, they beat Ireland 3-0. And now in the quarters, face England. Can Ronaldo go ahead and get his team into the World Cup semifinals? And it's going to be a 3-2 loss, man, as Liam Delap knocks out Portugal. Ronaldo adds 3 more goals into his career tally. Still so far away from that 500 goal mark. And as England have won the World Cup to kick off season number 6, I have turned Ronaldo into a striker like I mentioned. He's actually gone up a +1 into his overall, but he needs to get better if he ever wants to win the World Cup with Portugal. And speaking of an 89 overall, that does mean he is higher rated than Ousmane, and for the first time will be a starter in his PSG career. And boys, I think this is the only way to get him to 500 goals and win all those Ballon d'Ors, as we're gonna go ahead and go for the poacher development plan to try to get that finishing as high as possible. But let's see how Ronaldo does in his first ever season as a number 9. And what a season for Cristiano, a 91 overall. He is now one of the world's best players. If they did well in the Champions League, he could win his first ever Ballon d'Or. And it's a breakout season for Ronaldo, 54 goals in 54 games in his first ever season, as he reaches past 100 goals in his first ever season as a striker. It's another league title for Cristiano, make that a double in the Trophy the Champions, and 3 domestic trebles in a row for Ronaldo, now with 11 trophies. But for some reason, PSG can't figure it out when it comes to the Champions League, as this time they were closer in the semi-finals. If Ronaldo doesn't win the Champions League soon, he might have to leave the club if he ever wants to win 5 Ballon d'Ors. And at the start of season number 7, because Ronaldo's a 90 overall, he got his first Playstyle Plus and Power Shot Plus, which will help him eventually win the World Cup final if he gets there. And of course, he also gained Low Driven to replace Power Shot Silver. He needs to go ahead and upgrade anything that isn't pace or shooting this season. So we're actually gonna give him the False 9 development plan. Please, Ronaldo, win the Champions League. But regardless, Ronaldo has won another league title. He wins another trophy, the Champions, but fails to win the Coupe de France for the first time in his PSG's career. There's no domestic treble. And now with 13 trophies, did he get to the Champions League final? And this is not good news. In terms of the group, they finished in 13th, but luckily in the playoffs, they beat Fenerbahce. In the round of 16, they beat Dortmund. In the quarters, they beat Atleti, and in the semis, they beat Leverkusen. They'll be facing Real Madrid in the UCL final. But surely that won't be easy with the likes of Coleman with 27 goals, Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, and the rest of the side doing pretty decent. And Ronaldo has done pretty incredible himself with 50 goals and 53 appearances, getting close to that 200 goal mark. And now at a 93 overall, only 6 overalls away from that 99. But it's now time for his first ever Champions League final. Can he go ahead and beat Los Galacticos and Real Madrid? And it's a 3-2 victory as Ronaldo scores in the final to win his first ever Champions League. And that does give him 14 trophies to his name, a long way from 40. But yes, of course, Ronaldo wins his first ever Ballon d'Or, adding 1 to his list. However, now that he's won the Ballon d'Or at PSG, he can no longer stay here at the club. So he basically has to win his last 4 Ballon d'Ors at 4 different clubs. And yes, he won that Ballon d'Or despite of getting knocked out in the semis in the Euros. So now in season number 8, it's time for Ronaldo to leave PSG after 4 seasons. Let's see where his next Ballon d'Or win is going to come from. And unfortunately, only one club was able to afford Ronaldo, and that is Man United. Yes, he is joining the Red Devils just like in real life. However, last season, United finished in 8th place in the Premier League. They don't even have UCL football. And of course, Ronaldo will be the starting striker here, with this side is looking pretty decent, but it's not ready currently to win the Champions League. So if Ronaldo can get Man United back into the top 4, surely the manager will bring in signings to help him out. But for now, it's going to be a one-man team. We're gonna go ahead and go for the advanced forward role to get his physicality up as he gets closer to that 99. And boys, I told you it was a one-man team. 43 goals in 41 appearances. That's ridiculous from Ronaldo. And he is now at a 94 overall, slowly but getting close to that 99. And just look how easy Ronaldo won his first ever Golden Boot in the Premier League. This guy needs some help. And yes, he has done it. He single-handedly dragged United back into the top 4. But no Community Shield for United. They also failed to win the FA Cup and failed to win the Carabao Cup. No trophies, but at least he's back in the Champions League, and now sits at a total of 229 goals. It's looking possible like he's gonna get to 500. And to kick off season number 9, Ronaldo has gotten his help as Man United have brought in Arnau Martinez, the right back, Joel Hato, one of the world's best center backs at this point, an 88 rated Pablo Barrios from Atletico de Madrid, and finally, world-class superstar Kenan Yildiz from Juventus. And this is what the team is looking like now. Surely, this team could compete for the Champions League already this season. However, Ronaldo needs to continue improving his stats because it is another World Cup year, and he can finally do it this time around. And once again, we're gonna go for the false 9 rule as it's his lowest stats out of all of them. And Ronaldo has done it again. Another 33 goals, another 15 assists. Now at 262 goals, I'm not sure if he's gonna get that 500 mark, but he did go up another +1 to a 95, only 4 ratings away from that 99. Did he continue to win more trophies and maybe another Champions League? And yes, Ronaldo wins his first ever Premier League title. He also wins the FA Cup with Man United, but he fails to win the Carabao Cup. And when it comes to the Champions League, they did finish in 5th place. And in the round of 16, they beat Bruges. In the quarterfinals, they beat Leipzig. And in the semis, they beat PSG. And they're in the final up against Arsenal. And it won't be easy when an Arsenal player is leading the UCL goal scoring charts. And this guy is no joke. He has 43 goals, while Saka, Gertz, Martinelli, and Gravenberch are also cooking. But now the question is, can he win his second UCL and his 17th trophy of his career? And it's a 2-2 drop, but they win on pens. Ronaldo gets his 17th trophy and might just maybe win the Ballon d'Or after the World Cup. And yes, it's time for the 2034, and Portugal have gotten the easiest group. And a lot has changed as Ronaldo is now up top and wearing the captain's armband, trying to lead Portugal to their first ever World Cup. And when it came to the group stages, Portugal absolutely dominated. Getting 1 draw though is not good. But in the round of 16, they beat the Netherlands, and in the quarterfinals, they beat Ukraine. And they're now in the semifinals where the winner will face France against Spain. But can Ronaldo go ahead and beat the likes of Lamine Yamal and Pedri as everybody is tired? It's going to be a 2-0 loss as Lamine Yamal and Correa knock out Cristiano Ronaldo. Despite Spain ending up and winning the World Cup, Ronaldo beats Yamal to his second Ballon d'Or. Sleeve Manchester United. And now in season number 10, Ronaldo has been transfer listed as there is 1 World Cup left 4 years from now. If he doesn't win that, he will never become the greatest of all time. But of course, he still needs to go ahead and score almost 300 goals, win 23 more trophies, and win 3 more Ballon d'Ors as well as get to a 99 overall. And immediately, Ronaldo gets another Premier League team, and it is Tottenham Hotspur. Once again, they've come in from, if this is the only offer he gets, he might have to join the bottle jobs. But luckily, a second offer came in, and it is actually from Arsenal. It seems like his future lies in a London club. And Ronaldo has made his decision. He is joining the Gunners in Arsenal. So Ronaldo has now arrived here at Arsenal, and this team is looking absolutely incredible. Unlike the Man United team, this team is ready to win the Champions League. But of course, Ronaldo is still trying to get to that 99 overall. And I think at this rate, we're just gonna go ahead and give him the poacher in hopes that he can continue to grow. And what a first season for Ronaldo as he wins the Premier League here at Arsenal. He also wins the Community Shield against his own club. But he fails to win the FA Cup and fails to win the Carabao Cup. At least he has 19 trophies to his name. But when it comes to the Champions League, they finished in 3rd place. And in the round of 16, they beat Feyenoord. In the quarterfinals, they beat Juventus. But in the semis, they got knocked out to PSG. No UCL title for Ronaldo. But regardless, what a season for Ronaldo. 50 more goals, which brings up his total to 312. But he's still at that 95 overall. Didn't grow at all this season. Maybe he'll do it next year as the Euros is coming up. And to begin season number 11, Arsenal have brought in Portuguese center back Antonio Silva to go ahead and help Ronaldo to try and win the Champions League. So in terms of development plans this season, I'm just gonna go for the false 9. We really need him to get to a 99 overall, man. And at the end of the season, Ronaldo is now at a 96 overall. 3 ratings off his goal. And it's another brilliant season. 48 goes to his name, now at 360. And he does win back-to-back Premier Leagues. He also wins back-to-back Community Shields. He wins his first FA Cup here at Arsenal, but he fails to win the Carabao Cup, man. And in the Champions League, they have finished in 2nd place. But in the round of 16, they beat Fiorentina. In the quarterfinals, they beat Real Madrid. In the semis, they beat Juventus. And now they're in the final against his old club, PSG. And let me just tell you, this team is still looking absolutely incredible. Can he win his 3rd UCL? But can Ronaldo go ahead and do it? Go ahead and add his 23rd trophy to his cabinet, and it's a 3-2 victory as Ronaldo gets a goal in the final. But now up next, he has a chance for his first ever Euros win. And Cristiano Ronaldo has found himself in the Euros final against France as they dominated the group of death and beat the likes of Spain and England on his way to the final. But beating this French super team team will not be easy. But I believe that Ronaldo can win his first ever international trophy, so he then could win the World Cup in the future, and it's a 5-4 victory. As Ronaldo scores a double in the final. He wins yet again another Ballon d'Or. That's 3 to his name, which means it's time to move on from Arsenal. And now in season number 12, Ronaldo is now joining Juventus, the only club that can afford him right now, as he is 1 year away from his final chance at the World Cup. And this is the Juventus side he will be playing with. This team is looking pretty good, and it's able to win the Champions League if they wanted to. But Ronaldo is still at a 96 overall, man. How has he not hit that 99? Let's just go for the target forward role. And it's Ronaldo's best ever season, 55 goals, which means he's now at 419, still with a chance to get to 500. But sadly, he did not go up at all, still at a 96 overall. Is he ever gonna get to a 99? But when it comes to trophies, he did win the Serie A, but he did not win the Italian Super Cup. But he does win the Coppa Italia, which means that's 2 trophies. And boys, he has reached the Champions League final in his first year here at Juventus, the chance to win a treble here in Italy. And once again, he's facing his old teammates of PSG. It felt like so long ago. Can he win another Champions League? And it's a 4-4 draw, but they win in pens. That is his 27th trophy won, and he wins the Ballon d'Or again. 4 Ballon d'Ors to his name. He's leaving Juventus for his final club and his last season in world football. And this time around, Ronaldo has joined the Galacticos in Real Madrid as his final club to try and win as many trophies as possible, but most importantly, get ready for his final try at the World Cup. And this is the team that Ronaldo is joining. There is no chance they don't win every single trophy this season. And boys, I cannot lie, I don't think Ronaldo's getting to that 99, but we get one last chance. Let's go ahead and give him, I don't know, Poacher, and see and hope that he can get there. And what a first season for Ronaldo at Madrid. 34 goals, which means he's at 453. And because the World Cup is this year, he will not be able to achieve the 500 goal mark. He has gone up a +1 to a 97. There's still time to go to a 99, but I don't think he will do it. But when it does come to trophies, he does win La Liga, but he fails to win the Super Copa de España. He does win the Copa del Rey. That makes it 29 trophies. And he's in the Champions League final up against Arsenal. Madrid have never beaten this club. And now with 29 trophies, it's impossible to win 40 trophies by the end of the World Cup. But hey, he still wants to win his 5th Champions League just like in real life, and that World Cup eventually. But can he go ahead and win one last Champions League against his old side? Skelly is out injured, and it's a 3-1 loss, as Rice Lopez Bezeta deny him on his 5th and final Champions League. That means with only the World Cup left to go, that 5th Ballon d'Or is left in question. However, it does seem like it's going to be a great World Cup, as he does have an easy group, as he does have a pretty good lineup around him. And when it came to the group stages, they absolutely dominated. But in the round of 16, they beat Netherlands 4-0. In the quarters, they spanked Spain 3-1. And in the semis, they beat France, which means in the final, it's Cristiano Ronaldo versus England. And Ronaldo has had a great tournament so far, adding 5 goals to his career, and now has one final chance of winning that World Cup. And the game kicks off as Goncalo Guedes gives it to Gustavo Sa, who finds Cristiano Ronaldo. First attack of this World Cup final, power shot, and it goes in. 2 minutes into the final, Ronaldo makes it 1-0. Who gives it into Rodriguez. Here come Portugal in the second half. Cristiano Ronaldo has a chance to take a 2-0 lead. Cuts inside. Ronaldo with the finesse from there, and it's a great save, man. And now Rodrigo Mora gives it to Guedes with a through ball into Cristiano Ronaldo. 1v1 with a finesse, no driven, and it goes in. This has to be over as Ronaldo makes it 2-0. And the referee blows the whistle as Portugal lift the World Cup. And of course, he wins his 5th and final Ballon d'Or. If you guys enjoyed this video, click on the screen and watch me make Jude Bellingham the greatest of all time.